Welcome back. So today is going to be the final of the training that we started, I think 3 months ago. So today we're going to focus on SQL for testers. So if you ask a question, why do we need SQL statements? Why do we need to write any SQL queries even for anything? So the answer to the question is, when you are creating your data, if you are using different text techniques, maybe boundary value analysis, equivalent partitioning, you might be working with data, and those data might be stored in database, and then you need to know how to input those data, and also you need to know what, when you input those data or when you do any transaction or any operation, you need to know what data are stored. So that's why you need SQL to be able to go into the database and check what you inserted, and also to check what your operations have made, on any update that your operations have made. So that's the point, that's the purpose of we querying databases. I know in some cases you might not need to use it for some rows, but it's good to have it so that you can know how to do those queries. So let's go through that right now. So, yeah, okay. Quick question. What does SQL, and also often called SQL, what does it stand for? It's basically structural query language, and it's used for accessing and manipulating databases. And then also it's been used, also it can be used for you to execute your query against database, and you can use it to retrieve data from database, insert data, update data, delete data, create new database, and also create new tables, store procedures, then also create views, and also set permission. For this particular training, or this evening, we're going to focus on this lot. So we are not going to create new table, we are not going to create new database, but we're going to focus on how to execute your query, how to retrieve your data, and insert, update, and delete. So that's what. But more often than not, executing your query against database, that's going to form most parts of this training today, and how to retrieve data. So because as a tester, you're going to do that more often. When you fill a form, your form is going to update the data or insert a record into the database. But after that, most of the things that you're going to be doing when you are clicking around, retrieving data, so it's going to be from database. So that's what we're going to be looking into today. So the first query that we're going to look into is a standard select statement. So what is a select statement? So it's basically used to select data from database, and the syntax of the select statement is select, you put your columns, column 1, column 2, and on like that, column 3. So you put the column that you want to see, and you put them with commas on like that, and then you now add from the name of the table from that you want to query. You will know the name of the table. If you don't know, then you would need to ask some developers, or maybe something your technical analyst, so that you can be able to do the query properly. So, but however, this is another syntax where you don't actually mind any columns. You want to select all the columns. You want to display all the columns. So if you want to display all the columns and you don't want to select specific column as been stated above, then you can say select star from the name of the table. Let's see that in action. For instance, let's say I've got this particular table. Is a customer table and from this database, and it's got this particular column ID, column name, contact name, address, city, and then it's got postcode and country. So, but if I now say select customer name, city from customer, as you know now, this is the name of the column at the top, customer name, and then city. So we have city. So from the name of the table, which is customer. So this one way to write it. So I'm saying select that from columns. So that should bring. Let's try to run that from. By the way, also this document is an extract from W3 School. So I'm going to be running it from W3 School for you to see. So let's put that here and run the query. So as you can see, this query only returns the column name, which is the customer name, and also the city from the table called customer. So if you go back again, and then let's, like I said, there's select star also. We select all the columns from customer table. So let's try to run that also. So, and let's run that query. As you can see, it returns all the columns that we've seen before. So, and that's that. So, and it lists every record in that table, all the records. So you have 91 records in total. Okay, let's continue. So what we've done is how to query your table right now using select statements. If you want to, if you know the columns that you are looking for, you can specify the name of the column. Or if you don't know the name of the column, you can just put star. That returns all the columns that is in that particular table. Then also, you might want to also select distinct record. So in that regard, select distinct record will return only the distinct values. So if they are duplicates, you will remove them. You only bring one of them and also list that particular one, that distinct. So you are not going to have duplicates at all in those data. So for you to remove duplicates from your data record, you need to use distinct. And the syntax is select, you put the keyword distinct, and you also specify the columns you want to display and from table name. Let's now do, for instance, we're going to use the same table that we have, the customer table. And for instance, if you want to select country, let's go and select country and see what we have. So let's go in here and say select countries. So let's say you have you are testing an application like this and you want to know the tables. 1 minute, that's a question. Justin, I don't understand your question. If you want to rephrase it, sorry. Okay. So let's say now you have you want to select all the countries, or you have this particular table called customer, and you want to know where the country where the customers actually lived in. So you want to know their countries. So for you to know their countries, you can say select country from customer. That will list all the countries for you. As you can see, that is listed, and it's going to have 91 because you have 91 records. But this is not what you are looking for. You can see Mexico is duplicated, so you're going to have them duplicated. So for you not to have duplicate, you would now need to use distinct, as we have said. So what you need to now write is to say select distinct country from. So that will make it will return only distinct countries, whereby removing the duplicates. So for instance, if you do that, let's go. So as you can see now, so there are no duplicates again, and this is returning only 21 records. If the previous ones return 91 records. So you can see the difference when you have distance. So the same way also, if you go ahead again and try to see how many countries we have. So if you want to see how many countries we have, we just need to put count in, let's say count here. Yeah, so we want to count the countries. So if you run that, that gives us 91. But because when we have, what we have is a sample of this one which returns everything. But if you want to get the recount with removing the duplicates, you need to put distinct beside the country. So as you can see, that returns 21. So removing all the duplicates. Okay, let's go ahead. So then the next one is, we're going to do this later, but I will just quickly say this. So this is now using alias, but we're going to do that later. So let's leave that for now. So the next one is where clause. So in most cases, you might need to query database and with some conditions. So that the record that you're going to return or you're going to be displayed will be only the record that actually match, will be the records that actually match that condition that you've specified. So for you to use the where clause, the syntax is select, the same way you have the former one, doesn't change. Select the name of the column from column name, or you say select star from table name rather. Then the one that we're adding is the where clause now. So which means that we want to limit our searches or our record by this condition. We are only interested in the record that matches this condition. So only the records that match this condition is what should return. So the same way we're going to use our customer table. And now we want to say, initially we've decided to say, okay, we've actually used this statement before, select star from country, from customers rather, but now we want to only restrict it to only the records, only the customers living in Mexico, only customers from Mexico. So let's see what we have. So we want to get only customers from Mexico. So as you can see, so it's been restricted right now. So the same way you can say, let's get record from Brazil. So as you can see, so you can actually restrict it by that. So let's go ahead. So that's how to use the where clause. So the next one, yeah, this is the same thing also. You can, that is using a text. Also, you can use numerical feeds also like this actually. So let's go. So we have the customer ID, right? And its numbers. So you can also use that. So for you to use the numbers, you don't need to do something like that. So you only do that for strings. So because if you do something like that, so yeah, it's still okay, but more often than not, you don't need that for numbers. You can do this for string, and it's still going to return that for you. So for instance, let's do this also. Yeah, but in string you don't actually need that. You can decide to use that. So but however, if you put the quote, if you put it in quote, as you can see, it still work anyway. But I think it's better not to put it because it's numbers, but it will still work if you put a string. So then operators, what different operators do we have can we put in our where clause? So you can put equal to, as we've seen. Sorry, I would. Someone is asking me to repeat that. So this video is going to be available, so you can actually watch it. So, but there's lots of things for us to cover in this particular training on this evening. So I would just go along, but there will be repetitions along the line, so you would be able to catch up if you don't catch. We have not actually finished. So in that select. So in terms of the where operators, different operators that we can use, as you can see, we've started with equal to, but also you can use not equal to, you can use greater than, you can use less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. You can use between for certain range, or so more often than not in this between, you can use for dates, you can use it for numbers. So, and also like, we're going to look into all this, and also you can use in, which actually specify multiple possible value in for a column. So we're going to look into that also. So now, also there are other operators that you will use for a where clause. You can combine different operators together. So using and, or, and not. So like so, you can have this is what we've done, and then we've added the where clause, but we want to have another condition, so we can combine them together with an and. So that's a where condition 1 and condition 2 and condition 3 on and on like that. Or if it's all that you want to use, you can use it like that. If it's not, you can use it like that. Also, you can also combine all of them together, and you can say condition 1 or condition 2 and condition 3. But of course, what you are trying to write should make meaning. It should make sense anyway. So let's do some examples, right? So we're going to use the same table right now. You should be familiar with the tables that we are using right now, the customer table with the same data that we have. So, but right now we're going to say select. Yeah, as you know now, the star is everything. So select all the columns from customer where country is equal to Germany and city is Berlin. So basically what you are telling this query, what you're expecting this query to do is to go into the customer table, select all the columns for you, but restrict the record based on only the record where the country is Germany and then city is Berlin. In literally, you can say this is telling you, go fetch me record of everyone living in Berlin, with the assumption that, okay, there is no other Berlin except from Germany. But this is how to say, I need people that live in Berlin as a city and their country is Germany. So that's how you would write it. Let's go again. So as you can see, that is that. So let's say, just to be sure that it is working, I would remove the city. Let's see that. Okay, all right. So I've removed the city, and you can see everyone living in Germany is they are displayed. Then everyone living in Germany is displayed. Let's see now if I add Berlin. So it's only one person that is living in Berlin. So as you can see, even if I remove the country and I put Berlin, so it's basically the same thing, because there's no other person or that lives in Berlin but with a different country, living in a different country. So as you can see, that's how to use your AND. So even if you put all, so this one, what you are saying is that anyone living in Germany or city is equal to Berlin. So basically it's going to concatenate all this country is equal to Germany and city is equal to Berlin. So you're going to have more data than this one. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. So as you can see, this is another one. So Berlin city, I want people in Berlin and also people in München. So let's go and run that. So these are these two people. So as you can see, we got the Berlin before and you got that one. So, and also you can do the same thing for country. I want people in Spain and also in Germany. So you can do so. So this is going to display both residents of Spain and Germany. You can do the same thing also, like I want city Madrid and Barcelona. So you can say city is equal to what's that, Madrid, or city is equal to, let's see, let's choose another one. Okay. Let's use Aachen. So as you can see, it displays Madrid and also it displays people living Aachen. So okay, let's continue. That is that. Then not is basically negation, right? I don't want people that satisfy this condition, so you put a not in there. So I don't want people living in Germany, so you can also say not. So for instance, I can decide to put this, I don't want anyone meeting this condition. So it's going to list every other records with exception of this one. So 4 records. We know we have 91 before, so 91 minus 4, that's what you have. So, and you can also say I don't want people living in Madrid. So, and you can see it's going to list everyone except from people living in Madrid. Okay, Let's continue. So, and like I said, also you can as well combine all these operators. So you can say I want people living in Germany and their city is Berlin, and also city is equal to München, isn't it? Okay. But I don't think this is, for this record that we have, this is non-relevant because there's no how you're going to see people live in Berlin and their country is not Germany. But however, this is how to use it. So let's look at different way and that we can do that. So now I'm looking for let's look at okay. Let's do this. Oh no, I can't program. No, okay. Okay, as you can see, so it only returns people in Berlin and Munich. So, and for instance, if I do and I want to return people in London, so you can see this will not come out actually because there's no one living in London and his country is Germany. So, but if I do something like that and I say country is equal to UK, so let's do that. As you can see, now returns the London and also the Berlin. So basically, so I'm saying get me country equals Germany or country equals UK. However, but I want their cities to be Berlin or London. So that's how to combine those operators together. So, and also you could have ordered by. So you could have ordered by. So to use that, the syntax is the same way you return your record using this, and you could as well put your where clause in there if you want. But this is what we want to focus on, the ordered by. So, and you can now add order by the columns that you want to order with, and with this part, these two keywords, you can say ascending or descending, whichever you want. You need to decide on which one. So let's look into the examples. So now we've got one of them here. So let's say we want to order by customer name, this particular one. We just need to put order by then customer name. So as you can see, it's A, B, C, E, and S. So if you say order by contact name, so you can see it's been reordered. So now let's order by city and then order by contact name. So and say city first, then contact name. So basically Berlin is only one. So and we have a lot of Londons. So and it's going to order London, okay? Then in this London, how is it going to be ordered? It's now going to be ordered based on contact name. So after it has selected Berlin, which is the first B, then the next one is L. All this L, London. So it's going to now use the contact name to order them. You can see A, E, H, so in that alphabetical order. So as you can see, by default, I did not actually put whether descending or ascending. So by default, it is ascending. So if I do that, there's no changes. So it's by default is that. So, but if I want to do descending, I can put that. So as you can see, so that is the Berlin is there, and now it's after that is this particular London. So you can see the V comes before all this A, E at the top. So it's V, T, S, H. So in that particular order. So okay, let's continue. So I've done this right now. So you can order by one, as you can see, but I've done the double one. So when you order by multiple columns, yeah. So okay. Also, you can do this order by several. So ascending, descending, and so if you do this, let's say, so this is descending, and then we'll be able to see that, because like I said, by default it is going to be ascending. So, and because now I now put descending, the Berlin has gone down. So it's going to be in that order, on London first, then Berlin next, because I now said descending. So if I do descending on this and I say ascending on this one, then it becomes Berlin, London first, Berlin second, because I am doing descending. Then also in terms of contact name, it's going to be ordered in ascending. So that's how to do that. So now this is in select, as you can see, is basically bring data for me inside the record, inside the database. So you want to extract some record inside your database. So, but also you might want to, for instance, when you fill some forms and you click submit, what the forms would do basically might be two things. One is going to insert that particular record that you just filled in into the database, or it's going to update a record for you if that record already exists. So those are the two things that that particular form might do. So now let's look into the insert statement. If you want to insert a record into a table, what do you need to do? You write this syntax: insert into the name of the table that you want to insert into, then the columns that you want to use. So you specify the column names, and then you specify the value that you want to insert into each of the columns. Meanwhile, what you are saying right now is like insert into column, into table name, and my value 1 should be inserted into column 1, value 2 should be inserted into column 2, value 3 should be inserted into column 3. So what you are saying also, your columns that you specify should align with the value you actually added. So it's not, if you have 2 columns here and you now have 3 values, your SQL is going to throw an error in that order. So, and also you can do something like this. If you do insert into table without specifying the columns as we've done above, it shows that you want to insert into all the columns in that particular table. So that means that if this table, as we've seen, let's say table customer that we are using, if you use that, that means you need to specify the value for customer ID, customer name, contact name, address, city, postcode, and country. So because you are not specifying any. because you are not specifying any. So you are not specifying any columns in that statement. So then all this value needs to be specified, because it means that you want to insert value in all the columns. So therefore you need to specify all the columns, or the value for each of the columns. Let's look into this. This one, is a good example. Yeah, there's a question that says, can we use a where clause in insert? Yes, that's right. You can use a where clause. No, not really. You cannot. It's only objects. So because this is a new data, because as you can see, you cannot say where dot dot dot, because you are not actually creating that particular data. So it's a new data. It's not already there before. It's only when you want to update you put a where clause. So you cannot actually put a where clause. It's not, because it's a new data. You are only entering this data into the database. Okay, all right. So let's go and enter this. So I'm going to put this. Okay. So that has been added. So this is what you get. You get your result that your changes has been made to your database, and that's it. You can now query that table, and let's try to do that. So to query that table, I want to find my select star from, so let's say customer. Okay. So let's remove this. Okay. So if you look down, you should be able to see the one that we've entered. That is that. So, but instead of going through to see it at the end, so I could have put a where clause at the top and say where customer name is equal to. As you can see, that brings that up quickly. Okay, so that is that. So, and okay, one thing that you want to do, yeah, hold on. Let's take this one again. I'm going to. So now, as you can see, this is showing, okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, and I'm inserting that. So, and you could also do the same thing. If you don't want to insert everything, you want to insert only specific one, you can do that, inserting the specific ones. And I don't want to insert, let's say I don't want to insert this 3. And okay, that's 2 other. I can do that. Then I can so that has been inserted. So there's a question, how do you specify the row in which we are inserting to? You don't specify the rows, you only put that. It doesn't actually specify So you only insert into your database. You don't say, okay, I want to insert into row 2 or row 3. It doesn't work that way. It just inserted to the last part. So for instance, like now, if I select star right now from customers, so removing this one, so you can see it's going to be inserted to the last part, which is second. So you don't, and because we did not add this value, as you can see, it's null. So, and you don't say insert it into 18 or something. You can do that for update. You can say I want 76 to be changed to a different thing. Then you need to use update for that particular purpose. But you don't say I want to insert my record into 82. You don't do that. If you want to say you want to insert your record into 82, you would just update 82, and that replaces your new record will replace what 82 is. Is that okay? All right, let's go ahead. So, okay. What is a null value? I think we just seen that right now. A null value is a field with no value. So as you can see, I've inserted a record, but because I did not add values for the two columns, the postal code and country, and it comes as null. So let's see. Yeah, as you can see, so I didn't put any postcode and there's no country, so that's why the one at the final part, at the bottom, is null. Null means there's no value. So it's not possible to test null value with comparison operator such as equal to. So it's very common problem or misconception that people have. So you can say people mistakenly they say, oh, where column name is equal to null or is greater than null or not equal to null. You don't say that. Instead, you say where column name is null. So that would be, or that will return any columns that's got null, or you can say it is not null. Let's try that quickly. I want to bring up where postal code is null. So if I do like that, so you expect that that shouldn't work. You can see no result. But if you say it's null, as you can see, that is null. So that's what you are calling. You don't say is equal to null. That is not going to work. So, but if you not say it is not null, so then you return other records without the null record. Okay, I've done a demo on this, so that and also that one, that's fine. So the next one is update. So like I said, now I think based on the question that was asked, so you have a record and you want to change that record. So what you need to do is an update. So you know that I've got a record and that record needs to be changed. So you need to use an update. So the syntax for an update statement is your keyword update and the name of the table that you want to update. Then set. So as you can see in the previous one for insert, we use value, but in update you will use set. So what you are trying to do now, you're going to now say set column 1 is equal to value 1, column 2 is equal to value 2. So basically what you're saying that update this table, however, the column 1 should be this value, column 2 should be this value, but only do that where this condition is true. That's what you're actually telling it. So let's look into that. I want to update customer, and I want to change that customer name to Alfred Shimdi, and I also want to change their city to Frankfurt, but for only customer which got ID equals 1. If I have a customer with ID equals 1, change their contact name to this and their city to this. Okay, I mean that's a question. Okay, so the question is that does the system tells you when you have written a wrong syntax? Yeah, of course, I think it was going to return an error for you. So let's look into that right now. Okay. Alright, let's say I have written something like that, which is update this name of the table, and I said run. As you can see, error code. Yeah, no such table. So that table doesn't exist. So it's going to give you that. So, or if you do that, so that is a syntax error because there's nothing like set A. So it's going to give you error on that error, or you got the column wrong. So and you say this is that, and you run it. It's going to give you an error on that. But the issue is that it's not going to give you error like C# will give to you saying line 20, line 30, but its error is going to say near that. You need to figure out. As you can see, it said error 1 could not prepare statement 1 near set A, syntax error. But I can see this is where the error is. So it's going to give you an approximately location of where your problem is, so you can actually change it. So let's change that, and this one also. So now what this statement is trying to do for us is like, okay, let's update customers table, and now only update customer table for record with customer ID equals 1. For that particular record, change the contact name to this and change the city to this. So that's what it's going to do. Before we do that, let's see what that customer is. Select customer, and let's say select star. Okay, as you can see, that's an error, so I need to fix it. I think it's customer season. Okay, so then, so the customer name is this, so you want to change it to this one, and the city is Berlin, and I want to change it to Frankfurt. So so there's error. Oh, okay. So I should so it said one row is already been affected. So that's it. It's been, yeah, I think the contact name that's been changed and that has been changed. So it's now changed to the contact name and also the city. Okay. So now you can also update multiple records. As you can see, the other one that we did, we only update only one. So, but you can update multiple records. So let's say I want to update everyone living in Frankfurt. Everyone living in Frankfurt. I want to maybe change their. I want to add Frankfurt. I want to change their contact name, or let's say no. Okay. Okay. Let's say I want to change their postcode to something that is real. Or let's see what the example is this. Okay. So let's say I want to update where city. I just want to update their postcode to a different city is equal to Frankfurt. Frankfurt. Let's put Berlin. See where city is equal to Berlin. So for everyone living in Berlin, I want to change their postcode to something I can remember. Postcode is equal to so I don't want to change their city. So I can so it said you have made changes to the database. So now let us now select staff from customers where city is equal to Berlin. Said no result. No one living in Berlin. Okay, that's expensive. I thought I saw Berlin before. Okay, let's change the one everyone living in Madrid. Okay, or London. So we've changed 6 is affected. So let's now select. So those are the one. As you can see, the postcode has been changed according to what we've done. So the next one is delete. Now you want to delete existing record from the database. So that's quite easy, but you need to be careful that you're not deleting what you shouldn't delete. So to delete using the SQL statement, you need to write delete from, then name of that table, where, and because it might be a case you don't want to delete everything. So what you need to do is to put a where clause. So that where will only now delete record that meets that particular condition. So if you don't put a where clause, it means that you should delete all the records. So, and that could be catastrophic. So, but what you are saying now, delete from customer where customer name is equal to the name that you have in quotes. So next. So you can say let's say we don't do Madrid again. So we want to delete every customer detail that comes from Madrid. Delete from customer where cities go to Madrid, and that's it. So it's able to delete 3 records. So you can cross check to be sure that there's no more. Then also you can select top, limit, row number. So we need, let us know how to use that. So there's select top clause, which is used to specify the number of records to return. So you can say if you want to return 20 records, it's just use that select top and it's going to return that number that you specify. To use that, I've put it there. So select top, then number or percentage, then the name of the columns that you want to display, then from the name of the table and the where clause, which is standard. So that is if you're using SQL Server or MS Access. But if you're using MySQL, you just need to do this. So select your columns from table where condition, you need to put the where condition. But instead of the top that we have over there, you put the limit number. So you want to limit the number of records that are displayed. That's what you will write. So, and also for Oracle, you would change, instead of limit, you say row num is equal to this or that. So let's continue. So as you can see, so let's look at what this will give to us. So okay, so let's assume that is not MS Access. Let's look at this. So as you can see, this returns only three, the top three. That's what it returns. So, and what does that tells me? It's telling me that, so because I was able to use the limit I used to say. Okay, I was able to use limit, which means that that table or the database is MySQL, because that's the one. Because as you can see, I tried the top, that didn't work. So it's the SQL MySQL statement. So let's continue. So add where clause. So I'm not going to. It's the same thing also. Yeah, we can. So let's go to minimum and maximum. So in some cases, you might want to get the smallest or the largest value of a selected column. So for you to get that, you use the function minimum to get the smallest value, and use the function maximum to get the maximum value. Okay, in case of minimum is min, and the maximum is max. So to do that, you just need to select the keyword min, and then not the column name from the name of the table, and also the condition that you want to use to restrict the records. So let's see an example of this. So this is saying, give me the minimum price. Give me the minimum price for all the products. So as you can see, before now we're using customer record. So now we are going to be using the product record. So, but this query is saying, please select the minimum price for the product. Which one is the minimum price? Which one is the cheapest product in the store? So as you can see, the cheapest product is that. And you can continue. Okay, let's continue that. We're going to expand that later. The same thing also for the maximum price. You can get the maximum price. This is alias. We're going to talk about alias later, so you should bear in mind. Then we've seen the count. So where you used to count number of rows that are returned, and also there's average to determine the average number of a numerical column, and also there's sum also that return total sum of a numerical column. So I think we've used the count. In terms of average, you just need to get the columns that you want to do average on, then the table, and then the condition. The same thing also for the sum. Which column do you want to sum together, and then the columns and the condition. So let's go. So I think we've done that one before. Let's do average of the price. So as you can see, that's the average price for each of the products. So that's it. So if you continue, we're going to talk about SQL-like operator. So the SQL-like operator is used with your where clause to search for a specific pattern in the column. So if you know that what you are looking for has a pattern that can distinguish it or distinguish the record, you can use the like. For instance, let's look at the sample. Let's go. Okay. So, okay. So for you to use the like operator, hold on, I will need to go through this. So for you to use the like operator, you might need to use it with some wildcards. So what you need to do is you need to put it in a quote like that. So you want to say open quote, and so we're going to look at that right now. So for instance, we say like A with percentage, which shows that look for any record for me starting with their customer name starting with A. That's what you are saying. So if you want to say that I don't care, I want it anyone that ends with A, you just need to move this A to the end. So that will bring all the customer names that ends with A. So now let's, oh, this is, okay, I think this should be. So the same way also, you can find value, okay, I think you can find value for any record that have or in any position. So what you are saying is you can have this. Okay, I think this is right because this is the operator and it's got A at the end. So if you want to say, oh, I don't care, this particular customer name should have or in between, and I don't care where it appears. So you can just need to put the percentage at the front and at the back of that particular query. So, and then you want also determine which you want to return record for any value that have R in their second position. If you want to return any record with R in their second position, you do something like that. Then also the other thing that I will just leave it for there. So, and to run it, let's run this one. Let's run this one. So as you can see, so this is saying return all the records with customer name having A at the beginning. So as you can see, That's it. So if you do that and say I want A at the end, so you can see what is going to return for you, everyone with A at the end. For instance, if you want to say I want the one that's got Kui at the beginning, okay, so this is no, because this is saying get me any, I don't care what starts with it, but so let's do this. Yeah, so because you went to the one that starts has got Kui at the beginning, not at the end. So now what else? Let's try to be a bit clever. Okay, let's get the one that's got the address with 12. So let's say address. I want everyone living in number 12 or related to number 12. Address like, I don't care what it starts with, I just want 12 to be inside. And after that, you can have any other thing. So you can have that like that. So you can, so at the end, inside it, at the beginning, exclamation underscore R at the beginning. So you can have something like that. So now SQL escape. We've done all this anyway. So okay, then in operator. So this is a bit advanced, so I will look into that right now. For you to have in operator, you want to search from another record. That's the rule of thumb. So because you have one record and you want to search for a particular record inside that particular data that you have. So you will use a in operator. So for you to use that, this is syntax. You've got this query, select column name from table, your table name, where the column name is in this particular data. Your data can be listed as so, or can be listed in another query statement in itself. So, but what it matters is like when you are using an in condition or in operator inside your condition, what you follow would be set of data or a SQL statement that will return set of data. So let's go, and it's the same. Yeah, this is going to be a SQL statement that returns set of data. So we see on our table. Now, the first one is this: select from customer name where country is in. So it's going to only select display customers living in those 3 countries. So let's, for clarity's sake, let's remove channel. Oh, okay. Alright, as you can see now, so it's returning only records from France and UK. So that's one way to use your in operator. So let's go again. So as you have in, and you can also have not in. So, and then also you can use it when your data will be returned by a select statement. So in this case, let's see what we have. So let's try to study what this is doing. One, the first thing we need to do is, let's see what this particular table will return. See, that returns countries, different countries. So that returns different countries. So if you now go back, what you are trying to say is, okay, select the customers for me where their country is in the data that this particular query will return, which is this. So any country listed here is going to be displayed. That means not all country will be displayed, but only country that are displayed from this subquery. Okay. So the next one is between. For between, like I said, you're going to compare it with 2 data. The data could be an integer or float, or it could be, the data could be date. So you can use it for that particular purpose. Let's look at this. Okay, that's not actually set. Okay, for the syntax on how to use between, you need select. We already right now you should be conversant with this statement. Okay, then your between comes after as in after your where clause. So your where clause, when you have where your column name, then after that is the between value and value. So between this value 1 and value 2. So it should display the record, that means the condition. So let's run this example. So as you can see, this is only going to return the price between 10 and 20. So let's say not, sorry, it said not actually. So you can see, so you should not see any record which their price is between this. So as you can see, so there's 6, but you will not see 10 to 20. Okay. So likewise, if you remove the not, so let's go back. So you can also use between and in, so like so. So for instance, like I said, now in your where clause, where price is between that, and the category is in 1, 2, 3. So only give me the price of the product where the price is between 10 and 20, but however their category, they are not in category 1 and 2 and 3. So that's what you are trying to establish or display at that point. So between text value, I've said okay, you can say between. So let's try to see what that will return. Let's try to see that. It's a question, 1 minute. I'll answer the question in a minute. Do we get a practice environment? Okay, so this is a practice environment. As you can see, this is W3 School. So it's an open, yeah, environment for you. You can run it anyway. So I'm going to send this note across, then you can actually play with it. So it's okay. All right, so we've done that one, so let's go ahead. So yeah, like I said, also dates, you can use between for dates. You can say I want date between this date and this date. So you can also use for dates, so which is very, very important. So okay, give me an order, but I want those order where other date is between this and this. It's very, very important. So then let's go to alias. So we've been using alias before, but we don't know what that is. So, but alias helps you to give your columns a meaningful name, a readable, user-friendly name, because your column name might not be user-friendly. But instead of that, you can specify a user-friendly name for your columns. So to use that, you can use alias for that. Alias is very, very important so that it makes your presentation looks better. For instance, let's look at this one. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah. So you can, for instance, you can do something like that. This is what you will have done with that alias. Okay, and you add something like that. But because customer ID might not be meaningful to people, so you can use alias as. So let's say that's ID, and your column name also you can put name. So you can see now this is replaced by ID, so and this is now replaced by name. So you can use this to change the column name that's being displayed so that it becomes readable and user friendly. Okay, let's go. We have a few minutes more, so I would need to, I need to talk about this in length, to be honest. Join, which is very, very big thing that we talk about. So join. So when you are using your join, you have some tables, right? Before now we've been using only one tables, but in some cases you might have more than one table, and you want to now get data out by combining those tables together. And you have, maybe you have one table storing customer name, and also one table storing customer's details, and another table is storing the product table, the product that is being purchased, and also maybe another table is also storing sales. So now in each of the table you store different data. One customer table has got the details of the customer with the ID. If you now go to sales table, it's going to say, oh, customer 1 with the ID 1, and it's going to list what the person purchased or sold. So that's it. But for you to even know the name of that customer, you need to go into the customer table to know the name of that customer. But if you need to know what that particular customer has bought, you need to go into the sales table. So for you to put the name and also the price of what the person's bought, so you need to combine those two tables together so that you can be able to put that information out in one table. So that's why for you to do that, you need to use join. So the first join that we want to talk about, 1 minute is okay. We have to, okay, before I do that, okay, don't worry. So there are several, there are different types of SQL joins. The first one is inner join. So this inner join returns record with matching value in both tables. So that's what more often you will call interception. So the inner join will return record in all the table in the both tables. For instance, if you have two tables, let's say table 1 and table 2. So if you say inner join table 1 and table 2, it's going to return the intersection of those table 1 and table 2. So basically, it's going to return only the data that's common between those two. Then left outer join, which also is called left join. It returns all records from the left table and the matching record from the right table. So basically, it's going to return all the records there, every record, whether it is null or it's got data. It's going to return all the records there. And also it's going to return it with data that are matching table 2. So, and then the right join is the opposite of that technically. So it's going to return all the tables, all the records in the right table, all the records in right table with the matched record in the left table. That is the outer right outer join. We're going to see how that works in a moment. So, and also we have the full outer join, so which returns all records when there's match in either left or right. So let's see how that one will pan out. For inner join, so the syntax is, of course, our select statement, select column names from table. So then this is where you now have to add inner join table 2, because we're going to join table 1 and table 2 together. Then what condition do you want to join them together? So table 1 should have the column name and table 2 should have the column, this particular column name. So this column name is common in table 1 and table 2. So, but what you are saying right now, please get me the names are displayed from table 1 and table 2, where table 1 dot column name, where this column name in table 1 and the column name in table 2 are equal to each other. So they are equal to each other. So they are equal. So what let's look for the example. So as you can see now, give me order and order ID. So you can use alias, right, and say my order ID. So this is name. Okay. So now, what we are trying to do is concatenate or join this particular data together so that you can get one data. So what you are saying here is like, okay, I want to display these two columns. That's fine, but go into this table, which is orders, right? Then when you get this table, you should be able to see you should be able to see orders. You should be able to see the customer ID in order, right? The customer ID should be in order table, and also the customer ID also exists in the customer table. Then bring them together. So if this one has got A, let's bring them together. I would, okay, let's do this. This is no, it's not right anyway. So let's okay. As you can see, so customer ID, there's other ID, there's customer ID, and there's employee ID. So let's see what is on the other. As you can see, it's called customer ID. Even though it's have other ID, it's called customer ID. So if you go back and see what the customer ID, the customer also has got, and also it's got customer ID. So basically what it's going to do is that it's going to look at customer ID 1. As customer ID 1, has it got any order? It's going to go and check. If customer, no, I need to remove this. So I just need to. So let's check for the order. So it's going to look into the customer ID, and it's going to look for, let's say, is there any number 1? Yeah. No. Okay. If there's no, so number 90, let's say number 90, right? So it's going to say number 90. Number 90 appears in the order. So that means customer with ID of 90 has been made an order. So, but which customer is that? For you to know what the customer is, you need to go to the customer ID. You need to go to the customer rather table. So this is the customer ID. So if you go to the customer 90, and you can see that is this customer. So your query now needs to bring these two information together. You know the order is in order table, and you know the customer details is in customers. Bring them together is you look at the common column between them. So if you know the common column between them, you then bring them together as we've established using a join, the inner join. So you are joining custom order with customer, then but we are joining them with the column customer ID on both order and also on customer. So that's what you will do. So it's going to go into the table and check where that particular customer ID appears in the order and also appears in the customer, and then bring them together. Get the data that you want from the order table and also get the one that you want from the customer table and display them accordingly based on that. So, okay, so let's move quickly forward. Yeah, so you can also join three tables together. Then left join, as we have said, left join is basically look at the table, so and give me that particular record, give me all the records in table 1 with the matching record between table 1 and table 2. That's what you're looking for. All records in table 1, whether they are null or they are empty, you display all the records, but with also the matching records between table 1 and table 2. It also should be displayed. So let's check for samples. Let's check for an sample. So, okay. So as you can see, so in this one now, you can see the customer has got order of null. So the customer has got order of null. Let's look into that. So like I said, okay. So let's say this is customer name and this is order ID. So order ID. So I said from customer name, from customer, then we are joining with order. So this is going to be our first table and this is going to be our second table. So what we are saying by right join is like, I don't care what the name of the customer is. I want all the customers displayed. I want all the customers displayed with their customer ID. So which basically with their order ID rather, which means that there will be some customers that have not ordered any at all, but you don't care. You want them to be displayed. So you want them displayed, and if they don't have any order, they would just say null if they don't have any order. For all the customers needs to be displayed. So that's what we've just done right now. We've displayed all the customers that we have with their order ID. That means the order they've procured. The order that they have procured, so are displayed with their order ID. So, but the customers, all the customers are displayed. So let's go to the next one, which is right join. So right join returns all record from the right table and the matched record from the left table. So from the record, if there's no matched record at all, so it's going to put null on the left side. The left side is going to be null, but the right side that we have is going to return all the records on that table, right, on that table. So in that, let's look at this example then. So select order ID and also last name and first name. This is on this is from orders and this is from employees. So, and we want to join them together using the right join. What we are saying right now is that with the right join, employees might have some null data, but as we are saying, order, because that's the first one. We are saying if you are joining with the right join, the table at the right hand will return all. It will return records. All the records in employees will be returned with records that's matched others. So the one you're now also going to add those records that match this condition, but they are in other table. That's what's going to happen. So let's quickly run that. Saying could not prepare that right or full outer join are not currently supported. Wow. So it's not supporting it right now, so we'll leave that for now. So but in recent, let's look at this table. Okay, let's look at this table. This is the order table, and this is the employee table. Now, as you can see from here, it said, okay, from order, right join employees. So, okay. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to look for record that has got the same employee ID in the order table and also in the employee table. The first one, I said all the employees will be displayed. So you're going to have number 1, number 2, number 3, right? So now, with employee ID, number 1 has not got any matching parts. So we're not going to actually bring that up. So it's going to be null at that one. So let's say we are looking for order ID, last name, and first name. So now we're going to have last name Davio and also first name Nancy. But what about the order ID? Number 1, employee 1, has it got an order? Employee 1 has not got any order, so the order ID will be null. Then also number 2. So number 2, has it got any? So it's going to display Fuller and Andrew. What about the order ID? Because he hasn't got any order ID. The employee is not in the order table. So it's going to also display null for order ID. Number 3 is leveling. So what's going to happen is going to look at this table also, having displayed 1, the first name and the last name. So then the order ID, we got number 3 on employee ID 3. So then the order ID is going to be this 1310309. So that's what we're going to have. Like I said, do we have to create tables? Like I said in the beginning of this training, you don't have to create tables. The table should already been created for you. And also, we are not going to actually look into table creation in this part of the training, because normally you won't need to create tables. So and also you have the full outer join. Like you can see, return all the record where there's a match on either. So it's going to be on either one of it. So if you are going to be using this for left outer join, you're going to take the number one, Davio Nancy. So and it's got null as other ID. Then Fuller Andrew is also got null. Then Leveling Janet is got 10309. So after that, you're going to have 1038. So which is going to be this particular custom employee ID. So you need to go and then we will display that particular name of that employee ID and also his first name, and then but because it's got and all that, we're going to add that also. The same thing for the 77 one also. So that is the full full outer join. Self join, I think that's no. Union, yeah, I don't think you need to worry yourself about union, because union is basically concatenating those tables together, and so it's no. So I will start with group by, because I think that is important. So after the group by, I think that's it is done. Okay. So then group by. So in some cases you might want to display some data, and then those data will need to be grouped. It's different from other, where this is basically you want to group those data together, and they are more often used when you have aggregate functions. And for instance, you want to get the maximum of all of a column. So what you need to do, you might also need to group them together to get those data for you. So for you to use them, you select, of course, you do your query, and where then you just put group by. So let's do an example. So in this instance right now, we are actually selecting the count of how many customer ID and their country. So how many customer, but right now what happens is, like, if you don't say group by, what do you have? It's got that error message. But if you do this, because now so you need group by basically. So you have 90, right? So now for you to use the halving count, you need to have a group by. So let's go, and let's say I don't want to do that. Yeah. So for right now, what you're going to do right now, when you are grouping, you're going to group by a column, right? So to group by a column, you need to specify the column that you are grouping by. And most often, it's also very good to put the column that you are grouping by there. So what you are saying here is like Brazil has got 9 counts. So in the customer ID, 9 people, actually went are from Brazil. 11 people are from France. 11 people are from Germany. 7 people are from, because you are able to group them by country. If you did not group them by country and you just say count, it's only going to count the number of people on this record, 90. That's what it's going to count for you. But by grouping, you can group, so let's say we group by city. So we want to see how many people are from different cities. So okay, and even if you don't do this, so as you can see, we have several cities represented there, and some of them are 1 1 1 1 1 1. So I think that's the purpose of having the having clause. I am only interested in customer ID with where the account is greater than, let's say, greater than 2. So those are the ones. So any questions? So this is where I would stop. So I said it's difficult to know what join to use, any shortcut. There's no shortcut, you just need to understand how to use it. So basically you need to know when, for instance, if you are going to be looking for all the table in the left part, you want to return all the record in the left part, you know that at least that will be a left join, and you don't care what the right table returns. Then also, if you are looking to get all the records from the right table, and you know that the left table can return a null at any particular time, and you are fine with that, then you need to use the left join. But if you want them to actually return the same data, and you want them to have like interception between both of them, then you know that it is an inner join. So inner join is the one, more often than not, people will use inner join because that returns the intersection between the two tables. So I don't think there's any shortcut unless you understand the rule of thumb that I've just explained right now. So okay, any other questions? So that would be us for this particular database right now. So any question? I think this is going to be the final part of the training, so I'm not sure that we're going to have any next week. If we do, it's going to be like kind of final revision, but I will let you know about there will be an assignment that everyone needs to do, so but I will let everyone know. So this is going to be it. Then I'll send, also look out for a feedback form. So it's very, very important to us to get a feedback from how the training went, so that we can, so, and for guys that are doing the internship, there will still be Sunday class, so then we start the next one. And for those guys that are also interested in the next training, so I think I have sent the invitation before. I would put it here right now, 1 minute. So this is the courses that we do offer. So we're going to, on April 7, we're going to do the CV interview skills. So for those that are looking for CVs on skills and interview, so it's a workshop for anyone that are looking to get into work placement. So also this will be advertised later. The date is going to be advised, but in April we're going to do online 1 or 2 days for Microsoft Word and also Microsoft Excel. So, and yeah, look through all this and you can submit the application if you want. Okay. All right, that's everything for now. So thank you everyone for the time. So we'll talk to you later.